Hi, I'm Denise DeFara. Welcome to my channel and Happy New Year. It's just the 3rd of January in Australia, so entering in a brand new year, 2025. This video is, I've got two sections to it. The first one is a watercolor, working with the Paul Rubens watercolors some more. So I did this little one, and also a still life painting that has quite a unusual story to it, how it came about. So that's the second half. And yeah, I hope you enjoy. See ya. I thought I'd finished this piece, but coming back to it as I'm putting the video together, I realised, no, I'm not quite satisfied with it. So I think I want to do a little bit more to that painting behind, and maybe a little more to her face. Just not quite happy with how that's worked out. So I'm going to do something with this little painting behind her. I'm just going to give it a little frame. I don't think I've picked up the watercolors over the holidays. I don't think so. I've mainly just been doing a little bit of a sketch in my tiny journal that I take with me most places. I pop a little journal in my bag now, just in case. It's always good to be prepared for the just in case. So now I'm wondering if I just might make, oh, that's kind of mauve. I don't know if I want mauve. This is kind of all kind of fresh, the greens and things. This I sort of want it to be like an abstract painting, so I was, yeah, all right, let me see. Excuse me. I need to clean this area, or give myself a clean plate. This is when the little fairy plates come in handy. I got these at a second-hand shop one time. I got a whole little tea set, and it's been the loveliest thing. I think, you know, if you're in a child, if you didn't have a tea set growing up, which I don't remember having one, I think probably we just use normal sized teacups. So I could be wrong, but I do have a fascination with such things. I love them. So having my own here in the studio often seems to make the little part of me happy. Now here I am trying to make some sort of a warm white, and it's absolutely coming out way too yellow. So it might be better off to just go straight and using that kind of, like they call it flesh color. Might be better off to just use that. Don't think I like it much. Yeah, I don't think I like it much. Okay. Yeah, what am I going to do? Maybe I might just go for that mauvey thing and see what happens then. Make it really light wash. I think I don't really want it to be dark. I just want a little bit of, you know, to make it look like it's finished or meant to be there type of thing. So let's see. When it's in the sketchbook, you know, like you don't have to take it too seriously. I'm telling myself. Just enjoy the play of using watercolor in a way. Now I might just sort of okay. The idea that the putting a bit of colour behind these leaves, it makes the leaves stand out, I'm hoping. Okay.
I kind of like how that gives a little bit more richness around her. She's looking quite sort of thoughtful. That's not meant to be there, I don't think. Okay. So, yeah, I think I'll just leave it there. I just wanted to put a bit more richness to that art piece behind her. I'm in the middle of this painting and I'm really trying to paint loose, and I just sort of made this palette for it, and inspired by one of my favorite mugs. I'm popping that in here, a couple of those in there, because they're so eye-catching. So I think I might be doing some black and white stripes sort of on this vase, so there's a bit of black and white themey thing, and trying to just do these sort of loose florals, and then a sign is going on here. There's kind of a fun story attached to this painting, which I might speak more about as I get toward the end of it. But yeah, popping into hang out with it at the moment. I was sort of trying to make it quite a bright, uplifting sort of a palette. It's bothering me a little bit how rough and ready it sort of looks, and this is funny because I'm learning what I love, and I do love this loose sort of a thing in others' work, but as yet it's looking too much like it's not finished, or there's not enough paint or something on there. So I'm toying with, do I do just a whole another coat of paint in a tiny different shade so you can tell that there's depth to it? Do I glaze various parts or all of the colorful parts? You know, I'm thinking these are macaroons here, and sort of they're a bit dark, so they might want to be more lighter pastel-y colors. These are like little chocolate tarts with strawberries, so the strawberries will be a pop of red. And so yeah, just sort of where do I want the pops of color? Where will I maybe push it back? Yeah, so that's where I'm at with this one. And again, it's got a bit of a story, which might come later. So the story behind this painting, when I drove over to a beachside suburb where my paintings were going to be on exhibition a couple of weeks ago, I got a speeding fine. I didn't realise till the next week. And I went looking all the way through the details on the back of the fine. I looked at the back to see what could I do. Is there any way I could do some volunteer work or pay it off slowly? Right, that was what I thought my options were. And I was directed to contact or email the Western Sydney Community Legal Centre, and they responded saying I could make them a painting and mention their business, and they would be happy to hang it in their office in exchange for my fine. I had never heard of anything so magical, and he only expected a very small painting, but I decided I wanted to do something lovely, even if it's with an inexpensive canvas, but something that might brighten up their tea room. So this is what I did. I couldn't leave this painting alone. I kept kind of going back and touching it up and whatever, kept tweaking it. And what I ended up deciding was the kind of like the poster on the wall saying "Have a great day" was sort of bothering me being white. And so I decided just to paint over it, make it black as if it was like a blackboard, and then just re-added the message "Have a great day." Yeah, I mean, it could have been fine as it was, but I think I liked it with the sort of the blackboard effect. So that was that.
So thanks for watching. I thought I'd just add a chat piece at the end. I wonder how you're going. How is your new year shaping up? I know it's like only early, but I just wondered if how this time of year lands for you. I just noticed this year I've been finding it really challenging. I think in some ways because the end of last year I was going through some stuff, and it's sort of like it doesn't magically finish overnight on the 31st of January. And so I just noticed that I'm needing to really be present to what I'm feeling and needing in myself, and not get too swept up with the pressure or the perceived pressure or the giant energy wave of the New Year's resolution type thing. I guess it really all depends on who you are following on your social media as to what you get fed. So I'm aware of that, that some people just will be getting a very different input by depending on what they receive sort of on their Instagram page, for example, or on their feed. And so it's um, just wanted to wave out to you if you're not finding that it's a bright, shiny new year just yet, and you've got a little bit of a bumpy time. I just wanted to wave out to you and let you know that you're not alone. I think there's probably a lot of people that find this this very pressurized moments that we can create in our Western life with the way that we're sort of run by the calendar. I think about that sometimes, how, the way that when you become like an online business, and you can tell by then the emails that you've signed up to that it's time for a sale, it's time for this, it's time for that. And it's like this treadmill program that gets created and pumped out year after year. And unless you have some awareness or something in your world that's counter to that, sometimes you just get swept along with it like a bit of a tidal wave. So it's not all bad. I actually make sure to do a lot of sort of self care and listen to those voices within and what they need. I think in the last few months, I've been doing a morning walk longer than I used to, and like since moving here, because we don't live near the beach. I used to just get in my car, drive 3 or 4 minutes, and have a big beach walk, and that was the way you did mornings. Like that was my favorite way to do a morning. And so moving to the city and being away from like the closeness of the beach, I've had to reacquaint myself with there are other places to walk that can be enjoyable. And so I'm grateful that I've found that if I sort of go a few blocks down, I can walk along the Parramatta River, cross over a bridge that's only pedestrian and light rail, so it's not a busy commuter bridge, and then sort of swing around and come up another path next to the light rail and come back around. And it's a lovely way to start the day is to have this morning walk, check in with my parts, like in a way, just sort of go for a walk and see, okay, what's up, what's happening, and sort of what rises to the surface with that internal chatter. Um, and just sort of gently listening, and it's sort of almost like thought journaling, letting okay, what's up, what are you thinking about, what drops in, and sort of having a kind conversation with myself. That's what I've been doing on my walks. Sometimes I take my phone and listen to a podcast, but I'm really aware and present to at the moment how helpful it can really be to start that day a little quieter and listening to the voices in me first. And, the ones that are worried or the ones that are excited or all the ones that you have within, listening to them early in the day and like putting their minds at rest or having them remind you of some things they'd like to get done or like that. Like I've even got a part of me that is very committed to getting stuff done. Like there is a definite part in me that feels a lot better if I get these vlogs done. Like I've set up like a requirement that I want to do a weekly video, and there's lots of aspects that go into making that video, but it sort of settles down a significant part of me that I just feel I create that beautiful momentum of something that I'm continually growing and contributing toward. It's like it's hard to see um, the big results from such a thing sometimes. It's like it's tiny steps, tiny steps. It's not very big numbers when you look at YouTube channels or like that, but there's something about that continued practice that is really helping me at the moment. And so I want to use that funny word, behooves. It behooves me to keep doing that because it's something that when you ask yourself at the beginning or the end of the year, like what's working, what's not working. And one of the things that I feel is working is me making these videos. And I've received some beautiful comments from you. Thank you so much. The ones that you feel that this is meeting you where you are and it's helpful. And that is such a lovely thing to hear and to receive that feedback. It really does give energy to keep then keeping on going and making some more. But I also understand how important it is for us to receive that internal okayness and internal satisfaction with what we're doing, and having outside or like audience response is in addition to that. It's not like you can't it feels like I can't rely on that external validation to keep me going. It's not sustainable enough. You have to find it within. So that's kind of what the ongoing process, I think, is finding that inner strength, to grow the well of inner strength within myself, to then have those reserves within myself to call upon. And boy, is that a work in progress. Because, man, sometimes it feels like the tide goes right out. And speaking of tides, like for me to spend my time and go for a beach day, like we sometimes drive to, or I take public transport, that fills me up really well. And so it's important to know those things in our life that do fill us right up, um, so that we've got stronger reserves to draw from. So anyway, that's just some thoughts with entering the new year. And thanks for being here. If you enjoyed it, please like and maybe share and put a comment below. I'd love to hear from you and where you are in the world. All right. I look forward to making some more videos and see you next time. Bye. Aura on the picnic blanket. That's at Balmoral Beach. Strangers sitting at the water's edge. That was the day before Christmas, and that's my daughter Alex. And she was just sitting with us, and I just did this little sketch of her. So special for me to have that in my little book. That was at a cafe in Sydney, just after Christmas. And that was at that same cafe. We were looking out across to the Opera House, and there was a big cruise ship parked, and we were right on time for it to be pulling up all the anchors, and it moved out. So that was kind of a fun thing to witness. And this was just on the New Year's Day, and that was a lady in front of me. And I thought it just reminded me so much of myself. That's what I love doing, sitting in my beach chair, the bag of goodies, seagulls nearby, and yeah. So all right, see you next time.